Hi guys, Ashley here. Welcome to the next episode of Ashley's Digital China. Today we're going to talk about the 3 steps brands shall take in order to plan their marketing strategy for China in 2023. So, a lot of brands, big and small, are right now revisiting their marketing strategy and plan for China in 2023 to either renew it or tweak it based on the current situation and developments. So today I would like to introduce you the 3 steps that brands shall take. What are these stages at which we need to be planning and looking at our marketing strategy in China? Well, this framework can be used not only for marketing strategy, it can be used for a lot of business processes, and the formula is essentially a 3D. So what are the Ds? Number 1 is discovery. The second one is development, and the third D is deployment. So these are the 3 Ds. In D number 1, we're talking about discovering where is it we are right now as a brand in China. How are we doing? Step number 2, development. We need to develop the vision of what good looks like. So we look around at our competitors, at the market, to see what is actually this next level, this outstanding standard. And step number 3, deployment. How do we get there? How do we get from where we are right now to what good looks like in the market in 2023? So let's take a deeper look at these 3 steps and hope these questions and structure will help you to plan for next year in the country. Step number 1, discovery. Assess where are you right now. So there are several methods available to evaluate your position in the China market, including reviewing your marketing results, conducting a brand audit, and conducting consumer research. So these are the 3 dimensions of this first step. Let's take a look at them closer. First of all, reviewing your marketing results. This is typically done internally. Your marketing team is already doing that. Taking a look at how your initiatives performed last year is extremely important, and I believe that most businesses out there are already doing that. Ask yourself a few questions. And what are the questions that we typically ask ourselves? For instance, have you achieved your previous goals, right? Do you attract relevant traffic to your brand's social media, for instance, or e-commerce sites? Number 3, have you been hitting your conversion goals? Which tactics did you use? What worked well, what didn't work? Do you have the sales strategies? Are they linked with your marketing strategies? In other words, does your e-commerce team and merchandise team and your marketing team, do they work together? Were you able to get all the resources you needed from your global, from the local partners, etc.? These are the questions that we ask ourselves very, very frequently. Many businesses see entering China as a fast way to rapidly increase sales and try out some innovative strategies, or sometimes both. While this holds true to some extent when you expand into a new domestic market, China requires a much greater dedication and far more resources than the vast majority of enterprises anticipate. So it is extremely important to evaluate where you are in China and not be discouraged by the results. Analyze them and build on top of them, even if your first or second year is not really what you projected it to be. Next, it is important to conduct a digital brand audit. So we don't just look at our internal KPIs, but we also look at our brand from the market perspective and from the brand perspective online in China. Make sure your current marketing situation stays innovative and agile, and take time to assess it. The purpose of a brand audit is to analyze how the brand is performing compared to its stated goals and then determine whether it fits with the wider market. Consequently, methodologies will vary between industries and companies. In spite of the specific criteria you choose to measure, an audit should allow you to analyze your brand's performance, identify your strengths and weaknesses, ensure that your strategy aligns with the expectations of your most important person, your client. Next is the consumer research. A brand working in China or planning to enter China first needs to grasp the size of the market, the diversity, and of course, the culture in order to have even a potential for rapid growth in the country. To be successful in China, you must first understand the Chinese consumers. A clear understanding of your target audience is essential for brands to make their marketing and sales activities successful. Consumer research allows you to gain a deeper understanding of consumer demographics, their attitudes and behavior, consumer habits, consumption scenarios, consumer journeys, and of course, consumer motivators. Customer centricity is huge in China, and it is paramount important to connect with your customer at least every year. Ask them questions directly and act based on that feedback. You can receive customer information from various sources. There can be an online survey, there can be visits and one-on-one interviews. There can also be feedback and lucky draw games on your social media accounts for that matter. But you need to speak with your customers frequently to connect with them and make sure that you grow together. Doing consumer research will also help you improve your brand's marketing strategies based on the 7 Ps. And the 7 Ps are product, price, promotion, place, people, process, and physical evidence, of course. As a whole, the 7 Ps make up what is called the marketing matrix, which is essential for any company looking to promote their goods and services, not only in China, but globally, of course. But this is particularly true in China. Remember, the market changes fast, the consumer sentiment changes fast. What used to be cool last year, what used to be the sentiment towards your brand last year or expectation towards your brand last year might not hold true today. So connect with your customers frequently and do it with care. So this was our step number 1, discovering where you are as a brand in China. And we looked at it through internal review to brand audit to consumer research. Step number 2 is development. We need to develop and understand, what does good look like? For a brand looking to expand in China in 2023 or keep its positions even, or maybe enter China for the first time, it's important to identify what does good look like. Conduct a competitor research and case studies research can help your brand understand what exactly is expected in this market at this particular moment. So let's start with the competitor research. While consumer research is typically prioritized during your preparations for the next year, competitive research and digital monitoring are sometimes overlooked. But since the existing market competitors are targeting the same customer categories, they are providing solutions already for the customers' pain points, it is extremely important to do your competitor overview and benchmarking. Brands can find a path to expansion by doing this in-depth analysis of their competitors. Your competitive edge, in other words, depends on knowing who your competitors are and how you can differentiate yourself from them. The following topics may be covered in the competitors analysis: key players, key competitors, their pricing, channels, performance, benchmarking, their marketing tactics, etc. And here are the 2 ways to conduct that consumer or competitor research. First of all, primary market research, as you know, can be conducted through surveys, focus groups, interviews, observations, product testing, and many other things. And of course, secondary market research, where you can analyze some data and tap into analysis from existing research and white papers. Next, it is crucial to study other brands' success and failures. Yes, case studies will show you not only what's happening in your industry right now and what your competitors are doing right or potentially wrong, but you also need to look at the broader picture. Who else is serving my customers, my ideal customers, but in a different category or industry? Look at what good looks like in a broader sense and learn from the case studies. To identify patterns and causes of actions or decisions, case studies are needed to examine one individual or a group or even a bigger portion of population. A case study method may involve observation, experiments, structured interviews, questionnaires, or documentary analysis to gain data. When it comes to marketing, very often we look at scandals or we look at successful cases featured really big sales or really big sharing or social buzz. So we look at highlights, the highs and lows. So if we look at the brand performance, it goes like this over the year, we essentially pick out highs and lows and analyze what can be learned or what was good and what is essentially transferable. Once again, highlighting not only in our category, not only our direct competitors, but who else is serving our ideal client and how are they doing it. Step number 3 is deployment, or in other words, finding out how to get there. We understand where we are right now. Now we know what does good look like. And step number 3 is getting there. So identifying your goals and objectives is an essential part of any strategic planning, including that of marketing planning. So setting up your SMART goals, as you know, SMART is specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely, can be a great way to establish priorities and focus and reasonable expectations as well. Make sure that your expectations for the market are not only passed on from headquarters, but are also, and not only passed on from mainland China offices, that you meet somewhere in the middle, discuss and align very, very clearly on what is it you want to create. In China right now, it's a very expensive market when it comes to reaching customers. The eyeballs are expensive. So you need to focus. You need to choose your priorities. You need to choose your battles. You cannot be everywhere. So looking at where we are right now, what does good look like? And it might be 20 items. You need to then, in the step of deployment, focus on, okay, and out of these options and our circumstances, we are just gonna choose 3 to 5 priorities, 3 to 5 channels, 3 to 5 main things we want to achieve, and then develop a detailed plan how we're gonna do it. Not only internally within our internal team, for instance, how does marketing and e-commerce work better together, but also externally, how do we collaborate better with our partners? Do we need more agency partners or less? Do we need a new TP or an old or a complementary one? Do we want to have some more offline? For example, right now in 2023, offline businesses, exhibitions, F&B, pop-up stores are all going to likely be boosted. So how exactly are we going to take those recommendations and focus on what is important for us in 2023, and most importantly, what is going to add most value to our customers in 2023. And this is it for today. We've spoken about the 3 steps brands shall take when planning their marketing strategy for 2023, including discovery, where is it we are, development, what does good look like, and deployment, how do we get there. I hope that your planning for 2023 and adjustment of your plan is going well. If you need help with anything at all, including consumer research, including brand audits, including planning the marketing strategy and what to focus on, do reach out and I'm gonna connect you with my team. Meanwhile, Happy New Year. Have a fantastic year and we're gonna see each other at the next episode of Ashley's Digital China. Now, let's go get them. Woo!